Oh. Yes, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another stream on the channel. We're back live once again. We're going to talk. That was mad. Hello. Let me make sure my work, guys. Everyone's doing well. You know what? Let me know if it's working okay now. Big up to everybody in the building, man. Hopefully it should be okay now. It should be okay now. So bless up to everybody, man. Hope everyone is having a good day. We're going to talk about the Reds. We're going to talk about the Champions League. We're going to talk about transfers. There's also a bit of transfer news. So yeah, we're going to speak about that as well. Big up to PL Champs in the building. Big up to you, my guy. Huge win. Got a follow-up of a Bournemouth win. Otherwise, it's irrelevant. Yeah, man. Big up to Jacob, bro. Bro, I've actually watched the highlights back too. Bro, I've actually watched the highlights back. I don't know the last time there was a Liverpool game where I actually watched the highlights back. Big up Inferno, man. Oh, my G. My guy, Inferno. Bro, it's been a while since I've seen you in my chat, my guy. Been a while since I've seen you in my chat. Bro, I hope you're doing well, man. I hope you're... I hope you're doing well, my bro. Your footy, I think, yeah, it should be all right. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I've seen Liverpool play a good team. Yeah, am I good? I mean, I could be better, mate. I could be better. Just a few stuff going on behind the scenes of YouTube. Do you know what I mean? Just, I don't know, man. It's been a sad few days, but you know what you gotta do in live chat when you're down in the dumps, it's about how you get up. Do you know what I mean? It's like when a boxer's down on the canvas, it's about how you get up, and if you do get up. But no, it's been sad about a few things, but I'm hoping it will sort itself out, and you know that the situation and everything will be okay. Do you know what I mean? I'm traveling, so it's been a while. Yeah, bro, I hope you're doing well, my G. It's been a while, and it's good to see you in the chat. Big up to Clive, big up my friend, hope you're doing well. Great result last night. It goes to show we can win the Champions League if we play teams that like come to play, which is why we are struggling so much in the league. They mostly don't come to play. Yeah, because in the Champions League, you don't have a choice. You've either got to play ball or you're getting knocked out. That's the thing with the cup competitions as well. You've got to play ball or you're getting knocked out. Do you know what I mean? So honestly, that the Liverpool performance yesterday really put a smile on my face, man. I felt like, do you know, if Liverpool didn't win yesterday, chat, oh my god, with everything else that's going on, bro, I don't know, man. I think I probably would have cried. Like, I probably could have cried before the game. But we're not going to speak about that. We're gonna talk about the best team in the world, the best team in Europe. Maybe not this season, but you know, overall. But no, we got a big win last night, chat. We got a big win, and you know what? I was really pleased and really happy about the performance. You know, it was a performance that we needed, man. It was a performance, you know, that we ultimately needed. You know, it's a performance that we ultimately needed, and we deserved it as fans. We deserved it as fans. It's been a while since we've seen a Liverpool performance where we can say from start to finish, we was happy with the performance and we was happy with the result. And ultimately we got that. So I'm very happy and pleased about the situation that, you know, that we ultimately got the result that we wanted and deserved. Some of the boys that Slack played really well. We did discuss it on the match reaction, and we will discuss it again today. Allison, fantastic in goal. Made some really, really good saves from the rat up front. Frimpong, fantastic. And I said this in the summer. Go back and watch my streams if you don't believe me. I was happy about the Frimpong signing. I was excited about the prospect of him because I do think there's always been potential with Frimpong. Do I think Frimpong is a good right back from an aspect of going forward and defending? No. Do I think he's fantastic defending? No, I don't. But going forward, he's different to most right backs, and I really like it. And then you saw that bit of a partnership last night, solidity to Mohamed Salah. And I said this, when Salah gets back in the team, I think those two are going to really build a good relationship and connection and bond, if I'm being honest. Gomez last night was absolutely fantastic. Did not put a foot wrong at all. Did not put a foot wrong at all. He was calm and composed in the presence. Obviously soliditating Joe Gomez last night. Obviously, sorry, Canate last night. He played last night, Gomez. Obviously, you know, Canate was at the game last night due to family reasons. Obviously, you know, we're not going to know what those issues are, but I thought Gomez was absolutely immense. And I've said this season, the way that we have been performing, why don't we just chuck in a Joe Gomez? Why don't we play a Joe Gomez? Because if I'm being honest with you, Canate has been awful, and Virgil van Dijk hasn't been great neither. So I'm honestly in the camp of very much you know, continuing to play Joe Gomez, and I'm hoping we will play him again on Saturday because after he puts in a really good shift against a very good Marseille team, I think you've got to reward him with the performance and given the backing and the starting 11 against Bournemouth. Virgil van Dijk was good last night, seen him calm and composed. Those two just have a really good relationship, and this season when they've both played together, they've both helped each other and they've both been quite good, to be honest. Milos Kerkez, he's getting better and better, isn't he? And I think people sold their stocks too early on Milos Kerkez, and I was like, I don't really know why, to be honest with you, because the way I look at it is, right, the way I look at it is, you know, he's been really, really good, Kerkez, in a Liverpool shirt in the past couple of games. And yes, the start in his Liverpool career wasn't great. He was making a couple of mistakes. He was then getting benched for 2-3 games in a row by Andy Robertson. But he's really started to come into his own. I would say probably since the Wolves game, we started to see that somewhat the Kirkers of Bournemouth of last season, going up and down the pitch, defensively great, going forward, fantastic. And he's starting to really get into the rhythm. Is it just me who watches Milos Kerkez? I always feel like Kerkez's shirt, like the actual Liverpool shirt and shorts, are too big for him. I don't know what it is. He just looks tiny in in it. But yeah, you can see what you meant to him in the celebrations when we got the win and we got the points on the board in the Champions League. And he was really good. We know the mistakes he was making at the start of the season when it came to the likes of going down too easily. He was eating grass more times than actually passing the ball. He was making defensive errors. You know, the ideal one against Crystal Palace with Eddie Nketiah, that was obviously a notable one that comes to mind. But he's starting to really build up that rhythm, starting to really build up that form. And it's really, really good to see because I'm a big fan of his. He was my first choice left back. If he wasn't to get Kirkez, I wanted probably someone like a Robinson from Fulham. Then Kirkez, man, he's starting to really, really build it into shine. Ryan Gravenberch, him and McAllister in the double pivot was very good last night. There was a couple of moments when Gravenberch did get bypassed by the press of Marseille, but all in all, Gravenberch was really, really good in that midfield last night. And I think McAllister, you know, McAllister's 7.3 rating he's one of the lowest in their teams, but I thought he was absolutely fantastic. I thought he showed that South American grit, that South American warrior mentality and battle in his game, and it ultimately prevailed in his performance. So I'm really happy that he was able to show those capabilities. He was getting on the ball, making some good passes. Defensively, shotting up shot, making some really good tackles, and just getting in the mix of it. Because McAllister, he is one of the team players in the team sheet who has struggled a lot this season. And if he can build up that rhythm, that form again, I think he's gonna potentially, who knows, get back to his best. I mean, I hope so he can. Florian Wirtz last night, I mean, do I think it was his greatest game? No. I think a couple of notable things for Florian. He takes too many touches. He needs to start to bit more adapt to being a bit more quicker on the touches in the sense of making those passes quicker, making those shots quicker, because he has the capabilities to get goals and assists in his game. And sometimes he just takes it one too many touches. Do you know how we speak about with Curtis Jones? He could take too many touches, he can hold on to the ball too long. Those things that Jones needs to work on. Verts, he needs to work on to just not take too many touches. There is times where taking too many touches can help you in the sense of just keeping the ball and maybe just looking around to see if you can create an opportunity. Because if there's not an open opportunity, why force it? But when there's really good opportunities, he needs to be quicker, get releasing the ball out. If I'm being honest with you, he needed a couple of shots on himself last night. And look, I'm not going to be too critical, but overall, I think it was an okay performance from Mr. Wirtz. The future captain of Liverpool Football Club. I mean, James Pearce did tweet it, didn't he? About there is capabilities of him being a future Liverpool captain. Absolutely shows the standards. Bounces back from that poor mistake against Barnsley, then missing the penalty at Burnley, and he delivers with a fantastic free kick. And those free kicks deserve a lot more praise than they should, because the way you're able to strike into the bottom corner, the time, position, the IQ, and not only that, those when low driven type free kicks are really hard to do. Hence why you don't see many people doing them. And I thought it was a really good Szoboszlai performance. Again, he was getting the ball, making some good passes. So I'm really happy that Szoboszlai bounced back because, look, yes, he got a fantastic goal against Barnsley, but he made a poor mistake and obviously ultimately missed the penalty at the weekend, which was vital for us. And he bounces back with an absolute really good performance. And ultimately, a really, really good goal against it results in a free kick. Mo Salah, it was good to see him back in the team. I was really happy to actually watch Mo Salah closely tonight. I was more bothered watching Mo Salah tonight, by the way, chat. Smash up the like button and make sure you're subscribing. How many likes are we on? 15 likes. Let's try and run these likes up to 20, chat. Let's try and run these likes up to 20. The one thing I was really liked about Mo Salah last night was the way in his positioning on the pitch. I wasn't really too fussy was going to get a goal or not. I just wanted to see where Mo Salah's positioning would be on the pitch. Let Frimpong do the track and back. Let Frimpong do the hard graft work because he's got the pace in his game. He's got the energetic. And Mo Salah, I want him near or closer to goal. He had a decent half chance as well himself. And it was good to see him playing really close to goal as possibly as can be. Because we don't like him at far, far, far wide otherwise, because we know he doesn't have that absolute bursting pace as he used to have to be able to beast past a couple of defenders. Mo Salah is a fantastic player getting goals and assists. So get him closer to goal. It just makes perfect sense. Hugo Katike, first things, mate, please get rid of the haircut. Like that trim, I can't lie, is best. That haircut by Hugo Katike, oh my chase. But no, look, all in all, look, if I'm being truly honest with you, Ekatike, I'm proud of him. Yes, he probably should have scored one or two of his chances. However, he did actually score a fantastic goal in the build-up. Obviously, it was offside. The celebration was cold. It was something like this. Wasn't it like was it him and Szoboszlai? Or Frimpong? I can't remember. No, Szoboszlai, where they both put their hands on the face like that and they got like the hands going like that. It was just a really cool celebration. Like, it was just a sick celebration. But look, all in all, Ekitike, he just needs to work on a couple of things. But look, with Ekitike, he's done absolutely fantastic at Liverpool. Absolutely fantastic. I think he's on like what 10 Premier League goals. I can't remember how many goals and assists is he on in all competitions. Hugo Ekitike. Hugo Ekitike, Ekitike. So he's on 1 Champions League goal. He's on 8 goals in the Premier League. No, for Liverpool, sorry, I do apologise. He's on 1, 2. He's on 11 goals and 3 assists. I reckon Ekitike is going to bag 20 plus goals this season. So I'm not going to go in on him too hard. Pause. I'm not going to critique him too much. But, like, you have to remember, this guy hasn't really kind of got any competition. So, I think when Isak is eventually back, I think Ekitike will go up another level. And you saw that when Isak was actually playing football. Ekitike was absolutely fantastic and he stood up to the occasion. And I think that's one of the reasons why he kind of took off his shirt against Southampton. Not because it's Southampton and you scored the bloody win. I think it's to kind of announce yourself like, look, Isak, yes, scored on his day in the game against Southampton too. But I'm also here as well. And I kind of like that. Just maybe not against Southampton in the Carabao Cup. Do you know what I mean? Maybe do it in a different game. But yeah, let's try and get these likes up to 20 if we can. I think, let me catch up with some of the messages. The bigger issue is that we don't have a proper way to break low blocks. It was an issue with Klopp, but a bigger issue under Slot. I think it's the way we play football, though. The fact that we're more being protective of conceding chances and conceding goals, we're naturally going to find it harder because we're naturally playing deeper in the lines. I think I'm not really too worried because I do think we have the players because we do have the likes of throwing bits who can break that low block, and you saw that against Burnley at the weekend. So big up, lad. Yeah, I'll get there, my friend. Don't worry, man. Listen, you're gonna have to absolutely knock me down to keep me down, mate. Do you know what I mean? What's that song where it goes like, I get up again, you're never gonna keep me down, I get up, down, again and up again. I think it goes something like that, I can't remember. Throwback card, man. Ooh, you gotta laugh or you'll cry, shit. You gotta, but I'll be fine, mate. I appreciate the kind words. That's modern football. If a bloke doesn't get 10 assists and goals in the first 2 games, they are considered flops. Verts Kirkes and others. I think Bruges can beat the French lads. Normally they don't. Normally they also don't because the players are laying onto the wall. But then again, if one is laying there, you don't shoot. Is it there? Yeah, 100%. And I think that's why Sabozzo probably did it because he saw an opening and he saw a gap. Big up to Sambro. Frimpong isn't the most solid defender, but having a rapid pace to build up on counterattacks is priceless. Facts. I think Frimpong is seriously gone under the radar as a signing. You have to think of it right. Yes, I know people criticised players this season, but for me, Frimpong's one of those players where he hasn't put a foot wrong. He hasn't really had 1 or 2 games where I've been like, Frimpong was awful. Maybe Southampton in the Carabao Cup, but that's about it. Other than that, he's been great. He's been absolutely fantastic. And even when Marseille was away at AFCON, he stood to the plate. I think he should win Player of the Month at Liverpool, for January. So over the past 3-4 weeks, especially the past 3, 4, 5 games, I think he has been Liverpool's overall best player on the pitch. I think Kirkes is obviously definitely in the consideration in as well. Frimpong, we got him for 35 million quid. We're paying 7 million a year in release clause terms. And this is the guy that suffered 2 hamstring injuries. So ultimately, he's not really been able to have a capability to show his talents and show his worths. And I'm happy and proud that he did that. Because I've said it for the longest time. I've always rated Jeremy Frimpong, funny enough. I've always rated Jeremy. I've always found him a really, really good player, and I'm hoping ultimately he can continue to build and continue to just keep building on the momentum and the form that he's on. It's a shame he didn't get the actual goal last night because, yeah, it's a bit unlucky. Big up to GC. Big up to you. Pace merchants are always useful, 100%. You need wing backs to see the best out of Frimpong. I agree, and I think, like I said, if we are to bring in someone like a Jabi Alonso, I do think I think that someone like an Alonso will do that because you've got Frimpong and Kirkus who have the capabilities to be wing backs and full backs. I might do a video soon, an actual video, talking about how I think Liverpool will set up under like a Jabi Alonso because obviously with the likes of Frimpong and Verts. The only thing is though, I just don't know, would Liverpool go down the back three route? The back three route? I don't know. Not many teams are successful in the Premiership that wins the titles, etc., playing a back 3 or 5 is very rarely. I've seen Chelsea do it. Other than that, not really anyone does it. Think it depends. You can also put a right wing that does more defending. They have Frimpong overlap. Yeah. No, I'm in complete agreement with you guys. I'm in complete agreement. But no, last night was absolutely good because we got that most important win, and it's now confirmed that if we do end up beating Karabag on the last day match day in the Champions League, we will guarantee ourselves top 4, which round the 16 and quarterfinals both get Anfield second legs. So no matter what, we will get Anfield second legs. Now, I don't know how it works because what happens if... So I assume we will get put on the side of... So let's say Arsenal and Bayern and Real Madrid and Liverpool are the top 4. Let's just say that's the top 4 teams in the Champions League. Yeah, let's just say that. I think how it works is Arsenal will go on one side, Bayern will go on another side, but we will join one of the two sides. So vice versa for Real Madrid. So I actually think we can't play Madrid until the final. We won't come up against an Arsenal or a Bayern till minimum the semis. Which, if that is the case, Liverpool should be getting to the semi-finals. With Anfield's second leg, we should be... Top 2 can only meet in the final. Yeah, so like, for example, if we get Bayern in the semis, which let's say we go all the way to the semis and we get Bayern, we'll then probably play an Arsenal, But then I've always said the league phase, I think it's always irrelevant because how many teams have we seen go on in the second parts of the season win the competition? Like I've seen it on my own club. We lost 3 out of 6 games in 2018-19 when we won the Champions League in 2019. We lost to Napoli. We lost to Slavia Prague. No, Red Star Belgrade. Sorry, Red Star Belgrade. We lost to Red Star Belgrade. And we lost to PSG. But we won the other 3. So we went through on 9 points. Lost 3, won 3. Round of the 16, draw 0-0 at Anfield. Winning the second leg in the Allianz. Smashed up Porto over 2 legs. Barcelona, we lose the first leg, win the second leg, go to the final and win it. I've always felt like with the Champions League, it's very hard. I mean, look, Liverpool came top last season, won 7 out of 8 games, and got knocked down round of the 16. PSG came at 20th in the league phase and won the damn thing. So I think it's very irrelevant in terms of where you finish. It's like a Barcelona, for example. I don't think you can write off Barcelona winning the Champions League. I don't think you can write off Chelsea with their pedigree, you're not going to write off Paris Saint-Germain. Do you know what I mean? And you're never going to write off the teams like Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. And it's why, for me, why I've said my favourites for the competition is, in no order, and I mean this in no order, is Bayern, Real Madrid, Arsenal, PSG, and because of the players that we got, I'll probably put Liverpool in there. I'll probably put us as fifth favourites. I'll probably say Bayern off top. No, PSG first, Bayern second, Arsenal third, Madrid fourth favourites as fifth. And then you probably have like your Barcelonas, your Atletico Madrids, etc. But Karabag, I believe now they've near enough confirmed up top 8. Like Karabag aren't going to get top 8 barring an absolute collapse. Like they would have to lose by like 4 goals. Although if Napoli and Thingy win, and then maybe one of these couple of teams win, they might drop out. But so they might just rotate a little bit at Anfield. So all in all, I'm very happy in that aspect. Big up to Nebens, hope you're doing well, my bro. Second half of the season is way more important in Champions League because if you lose a second leg, you are out second half. From there is more important. I agree. PSG Newcastle is going to be a great game. Both teams need to win. Napoli are at home to Chelsea. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Who's Barca got? You guys have got Copenhagen. We've obviously got Karabag. Correct. But no, the results went our way this week. We needed results to go our way. You know, Man City losing, Atletico Madrid dropping points. That really crushed them. Atalanta was up in third at one point. They lost to Athletic Bilbao. And Inter Milan, they were third. They've somehow dropped all the way down to 14th. Obviously, I know it's only a point difference, but they've dropped all the way down there. So 3-4 results really went in our favour to really push up that table. And obviously PSG losing to Sporting as well in an upset, that massively helped as well. So results very much went our way. The highest we can finish is ultimately third. We're not going to be able to finish fifth. I mean, it would have to be an absolute massive goal swing. Like, ultimately, Bayern Munich would have to rotate. They'll have to lose by a minimum, like, 2+ goals, in my opinion. And then we would have to absolutely smash up Karabag and win, like, 5-0. And Real Madrid would have to draw. That's why I'm not saying we're not going to get top 2. It's frustrating because I do feel like we could have got it. You know, only 3 points off Bayern. If we'd have just turned, you know, the PSV wasn't an embarrassment, but let's say a Galatasaray where we don't lose an embarrassing 1-0, we go and get a win there. You could maybe see a world where if Bayern do drop points, we can maybe sneak into a second place finish. But look, I'm not going to be too critical because ultimately now, barring an absolute collapse, we have got top 8. Big up to everybody in the building, man. 15 of you. Let's try and get these likes up to 25. Chat, try and please get the likes up a bit. Look, the Champions League is going to be interesting, isn't it? It is going to be really, really interesting. I mean, look, from a Liverpool standpoint of view, win against Qarabag, we've got into top 4. That Newcastle PSG game is going to be an absolute classic. I actually can't wait for that. I beg they've not put that on the same night. Knowing my luck, they probably have. Knowing my luck, I won't be entirely surprised. Knowing my luck, they've probably put that on the same. Any team can win the Champions League. All games are on the same time. Damn, so I'm gonna have to watch quite. Why couldn't they split them in half? Oh, I suppose then you know results and all that sort of thing. Yeah, I can kind of understand why they'll put them all on the same night. Yeah, I hear. I ultimately hear that. But no, look, from a Liverpool standard point of view, Barcelona would have to win. We would have to Tottenham would have to win. PSG would have to win. Yeah. PSG, one of Newcastle or PSG would have to win. Tottenham would have to win. And Chelsea would have to win alongside with Barcelona, Sporting, and a Man City. So it's not completely over because we can't even really afford to draw in that sense. So we've still got to go and win. We've still got to go to Anfield and ultimately win the tie. We've still got to go to Anfield and ultimately win the game. You know, we've still got to ultimately go there and win the game. And I'm hoping we ultimately do. And I think we will. Excuse me. But React, when are you gonna glaze the Arsenal? When am I gonna glaze Arsenal? Why am I please and nice me when I'm gonna glaze Arsenal? So in the playoffs, who can so I think Villarreal flopping that bad is mad, you know, like I think Villarreal are not a bad team. I mean, losing to Pavos. I mean, yeah, they have been getting some slappings. Napoli might miss out, you know. They've got Chelsea and they need to win. So the only way really Chelsea get back into it is with a is with a win. So there's some big results for next week, some big results, especially the teams down in the bottom half of the playoffs. That Atletico Bilbao Sporting game might be quite good as well because Sporting Bilbao got to win to fight to stay in the playoffs. Sporting, if they can get top 8, that would be an absolute unbelievable achievement. Especially, you know, this is why I didn't want to have playoffs, chat, because with the teams that are in there, Atletico Madrid, no matter what you think of Man City probably right now beat us. You don't want Barcelona. Chelsea potentially could slip back in, so you don't want Chelsea neither. Inter Milan, although I do think we can beat Inter over 2 legs. It's not a tie you don't want. It's your first one. Atalanta, you know, we found out real quick with them 2 seasons ago. Juventus and your Dortmunds, you know, the first legs or 2, they could be quite tricky. Galatasaray, we found out real quick. So this is why I did not want to be going into that playoffs. You know, no my luck, yet again, we probably get some absolute fucking wonder team and we get absolute dunked. So, hey, by the way, we're actually second when it comes to based on XG. We're actually second based on XG. And apparently we should be on 17. We should be on 16 points by that matrix. If it was based on XG, we would be on 16 points. Who would be like all the way down here and stuff? Wow, there's some Jesus. Mad. But no, we take it, man. We take it. And you know, this win that we got today, ultimately, we got big up to Antico in the chat. We've got to follow it up with a win against Bournemouth, chat. We've got to follow it up with a win against Bournemouth, you know? We cannot afford to be dropping more points in the Premiership. Like, I'm sorry. You drop more points in the Premiership, we don't deserve to get Champions League football. And, you know, it's very much simple as that. You cannot be affording to drop points in the fucking in the race for the top 4. You beat Bournemouth, you beat Qarabag, you can build some. The unbeaten run, I would give more credit if we somehow go and win all these games, then fair fucks. Then yeah, it's an unbeaten run because you've played Man City, you've played your Newcastles, you've played your Bournemouths away, Brighton in the FA Cup. Hey, chat, Brighton in the FA Cup on Valentine's Day. Listen, I ain't gonna say too much. I prefer not to speak on that. Sunderland. Sunderland away at 8:15 is a game where you just simply don't want. After facing Man City as well, then you got to go into the FA Cup. That week, those 3 games, these 4 games here, this is where it's going to really define our season. Because Bournemouth, if you got to go and win, I'm sorry, you've got to fucking go and win. There's no excuses. Yeah, you've got to go and beat fucking Bournemouth. Carabag, you've got to win because you've got to get into the top 8. You've got to get that top 4. You've got to get those Anfield second legs. We don't want to be going to the Bayern Munich, the Allianz in a second leg, and we're all sat there shitting our pants. Do you know what I mean? You know, we don't want to be doing that. Do you know what I mean? Newcastle, that's an absolute 6-pointer. They got a really good result against PSV last night. Wiss is now scoring a couple of goals for them. Man City at Anfield. Like, this is where I'm looking at it, right, chat. These are our next 7 games. In my opinion, you've got to win. In my opinion, 6 of the next 7. No excuses, part 17. We've been saying no excuses all season. We've actually been saying no excuses all season. Oh my god. We are getting top 8. We are making. Yeah, second in the XG. You'll never sing that. Second in XG. You'll never sing that. We still do not make, but draws. Kirsters. You should win all those games. Maybe not City, but the rest you should win. Keep telling your footage. Just got the day before the Brighton game. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. I think we win all those apart from Sunderland away. Bournemouth don't have Semenyo this time. At least he was one of the main reasons we struggled last time. Yep. But no, look, the way I'm kind of assessing and looking at the situation is ultimately those next 7 games, you've got to win, I think, in my opinion, fucking 6. I think you've got to go and win 6. Bournemouth, you got to win because I'm sorry. We're a game or 2 away from slipping out the top 4. We need to build up some momentum. I'm sick of having where we have a really good performance, a really good result, and we don't fucking follow it up. You don't follow up. You can't be having, I'm sorry. There's not a world and chance you can have 5 Premier League draws in a row or a loss. I'm sorry, man. We've not won in the Premier League this year. Wolves have more points in the Premier League than us this year. You have got to go and win against fucking. Oh man, please. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Big up to everybody in the building, man. 18 of you, man. If you are new, hit the like button and subscribe because we're at a whopping 4 subs from 1.6k. No, sorry, 2.6k. Apologies. So hopefully we can hit there in by the end of the week. But Bournemouth, I'm sorry, you got to win. Carabag, you got to win. Newcastle's a 6-pointer. You've got to get the fucking job done. They're breathing down our necks and their breath fucking stinks. Yeah. Man City, look. As much as I don't think Man City are great, I actually think that's a problem. With their defence, we can actually score goals against these if we actually try and play football. Although their attack, fuck me. Genuinely, I'm absolutely low-key will be shitting a brick for that game. I actually low-key will be shitting a brick for that game. Sunderland is going to be tough, but you've got to go and win. These are the games you've got to get the 3 points and you've got to get over the line in. And then Brighton in the cup. You know, when you think of it, chat, our season could very much be in the bin within the next 7 games. Our season is defining in the next 7 games. Because if you somehow don't win, let's say, okay, we'll probably beat Forest, yeah? But Sunderland, Man City, Newcastle and Bournemouth, if you don't pick up minimum 10 points, let's say we come away with like 4 points, 5 points, 6 points. The top four is going to be looking difficult. You're going into the playoffs of the Champions League if you lose to Karabag, and you go out in the FA Cup. You might as well just click end save and click next season now. We might as well start doing all transfer news. We might as well start talking about the World Cup, because from a Liverpool's point of view, the season from very much would be over, wouldn't it? It very much would be over. So we've ultimately got to do our job. I'm hoping we do our job. I'm hoping we can actually keep composure. I'm hoping we can actually stay afloat. You know, and I want to see Liverpool win, man. Like, last night was actually a smile on my face when we actually won and played well. For the first time in I don't know how long, I actually sat down and watched big parts of the game back because I liked the shape. I liked the attacking play. I liked certain individuals' performances. It was just really good to see. Really good to see. And, you know, so I'm proud of the boys, and they deserve the absolute utmost credit. And this is why we've got to go on a bit of a run in the Premier League, because you go to the Premier League table, yeah, we're fourth, cool. Man United looked really good, looked really, really, really good in the game against Manchester, Man City, Chelsea. You know, all these teams, and by then, if we lose somehow to Newcastle, by then they're probably going to be above us because they probably won a game by then. So there is a situation where it could be looking a bit bleak, but we got to keep composure. We've got to continue on the fight. And I'm very hoping and keeping belief and keeping the optimism that we can, you know, ultimately, you know, continue the fight, continue the fight, and continue the trajectory to get Champions League football, and, you know, potentially go far in the FA Cup, and, you know, potentially try, who knows, and cause an upset and win a Champions League. And that's probably going to get clipped. Oh, Reacts is saying Liverpool will win the Champions League. No, I'm saying we should try, mate. We should ultimately try, because I've said this for the longest time. Our end of season run is absolutely awful. Brentford, by that point, if they're in the contention for European places, that's going to be a dogfest. Aston Villa away is not the last away game. That'll be their last home game, depending on where they are in the league. That's going to be absolutely vital for them. Chelsea, Man United. Our last 4 games are literally shit in a brick. Palace ain't ever easy. Everton in the derby. So our last 6 games is going to be one of those ones where we need to really win some games. You've got to be winning your Wolves, winning your West Hams, beating your Spurs, beating your Brightons, beating your Fulhams. When we get to this period, past Nottingham Forest, I actually want to see 6 Premier League wins in a row. I want to see Forest, West Ham, Wolves, Spurs, Brighton, Fulham wins in a row. It's like that fucking guy cutting his hair, innit? Manchester United, day 152 of could not cut to the end until Manchester United win 5 games in a row. God, could you imagine if I did that? Fuck me. Jesus, imagine if I started it now. I'd be fucked. Have we won 5 games in a row other than the start of the season? Well, we always did it then. To be fair, it was a game off. No, we haven't. We've done it once. So, yeah, it's not great, is it? Let me catch up some of the chat. We will be a few footy here on the negotiations. Listen, mate, the negotiations haven't even begun. The negotiations genuinely haven't even begun. They haven't even fucking begun, mate. Yeah. They've not even begun. God, it's a good. I slate Richard Hughes, but, you know, my negotiations will work. Don't worry, chat. Genuinely, how are we 4th? Mad. Wolves is going down. Yeah. I think we beat City 2-1 and Newcastle 2-0, hopefully. Yeah, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. Big up to everyone in the building. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. I want to break free. Oh no. I got to break free. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it again. What's the song we get to this? Oh, what tonight? That's it. Tonight's gonna be a good night. And tonight's gonna be a good night. Sing it. Ooh, ooh. And tonight's gonna be a good night. We're gonna win the Champions League. We're gonna win the FA Cup. Do 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 do. Listen, chat, I can't fucking sing for shit, mate, but I just fucking rock it. Do you know what I mean? I just rock it. God knows what new people are thinking. They're thinking, oh yeah, this guy's talking about maybe the Marseille game. No, this guy is absolutely talking and he's trying to sing and he's making me instantly click off. So if you do like a bit of singing, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe. No, because chat, I'm in a mood where if I genuinely don't sing and laugh, I don't know. You know, you can only reveal so much. Do you know what I mean? You can only you can ultimately only reveal so much. But yeah, God knows what new people are thinking. They're probably thinking, what on earth is this Muppet doing? There goes my window clipped. Yeah. I need to wash my ears. Listen, chat, you don't find this on any other channel, mate. We have banter over here. We have chats. Next minute, your singing sounded zesty. How is singing tonight's going to be a good night, zesty? Bro, just chat about these flawless team. No, mate, because one minute you're saying Mikel Arteta, mate, so I ain't taking you fucking seriously, you div. But honestly, chat, I'm acting like we won the fucking Champions League, but you know what? I actually genuinely think Liverpool are made for knockout football. We're a cup team, and that's why I was pissed off. And when the manager came out and said, "I'm happy to, I don't mind being at the League Cup," I'm like, sorry, what? You know, so I think Liverpool have actually done really well in the Champions League this season. Obviously, in the League Cup, we did an absolute fucking atrocious attempts in the League Cup. But in the FA Cup, we're into the next round, and we're just prevailing along until we either win something or get shot. So hopefully, we will be winning come the end of the season. I don't know how it's zesty. Wesley, I could say big up to Wesley in the chat, and he'll say it's zesty. Genuinely, Wesley could put your big up reacts. I would put big up to you, and he'll be like, "That's fucking zesty," and I'm like, "Bro, just what are we doing here, man? Like, what are we doing here? Like, real talk. What are we doing here? What on earth are we doing it? Do you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? But chat, I do want to listen to Mr. Slot's press conference from yesterday. So let's take a listen. Big up to everybody that's in the building. Slap the like button. Make sure you're slapping that fucking like button, yeah? And I mean, fucking slapping it, yeah? If you're on your TV remotes, I know you're watching on your TV, click the like button, boom. If you're on your phone, click on, and then get back in the chat. And hit the subscribe, yeah? Hit the subscribe button and become a member if you want to. Obviously, that is optional. We've got some exciting things coming on the membership in the coming weeks. I'm just kind of trying to figure out the graphics in terms of how I'm gonna do it. Yo, big up to views, my guy. Bless up to you. Hit me with that big raid. Bless up to everybody in the chat, man. Views, man, we need to link up again. Arsenal fans, what are you saying to me, man? Top of the Champions League group. Are you guys gonna win the league? Big up to Views, man. I really do appreciate the raid, my guy. Really, really do appreciate it. I'll message you after the show, and we'll try and hopefully link up and do some content. You know what I mean? So bless up for the raid. Yeah, if you are coming from Beauty Stream, I am a Liverpool fan. I know my team is dog, despite last night's absolute fantastic performance in the Champions League. Yeah, on this channel we speak about all clubs. We speak about obviously predominantly Liverpool, but right now we are talking about the Champions League. So yeah, big up to all the raiders. Hit the like button and subscribe, because we're a whopping 3 subscribers from 2.6k. So hopefully, we potentially get there in the next couple of days, or today. I don't know. We will have to wait and see. So this is where the men's hangs out, bro. He's always in my chat, bro. Bro, you best glaze the Arsenal fans are here. Yeah, big up to the Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans, real talk. Are you guys winning the league? And are you guys winning the Champions League? And I want honesty, because I've seen a couple of Arsenal fans going around saying, fuck it, we're going to win the quad, we're going to win the treble. In my opinion, I think you guys will win the league. I think I've got a feeling you guys will get to the Champions League final. I think you'll get to the Champions League final. FA Cup is FA Cup. Arsenal ain't winning shit. Listen, I hope Arsenal don't, as a Liverpool fan. Obviously, I hope, as a Liverpool fan, Arsenal don't win anything. Because it'd be quite mad of me to want Arsenal to win trophies. I think that, like I've always said with you guys, is with Arsenal, it's always been about with Arsenal, it's always been about the Mikel Arteta for me. It's always been, yeah, big up to Yasser every single time, actually. Make sure you're subscribing to Yasser TV. The way I look at it is, it's always been about Arteta. Last night, the other night, you guys went with a strong team. I didn't watch the game. I didn't manage to check the highlights. Hey, Jesus actually scored a really nice goal. But no, you guys are doing well, man. You guys are doing your thing. You are top of the Champions League group, which I think is irrelevant. I think the only positive about getting Champions League is so your manager will come out and say, yeah, we are the best in Europe. I remember last season, you guys played PSG, and Arteta came out and said in a post-match press conference, it might have been PSG, I can't remember if it was PSG. Your manager came out in a post-match press conference and said, we're the best team in Europe. That's what PSG said. I think that's why he wants to get first, so he can come out and say, yeah, we are the best team in Europe. And he can have that on his CV record. Do you know what I mean? But no, I think in the Champions League, you guys have the best squad. Starting 11, I would honestly say maybe Bayern Munich right now, or PSG, if they can get to the form of last season. But ultimately, when you look at it from this situation, is you guys are set up for knockout football. That's why I've always predicted you guys to somewhat do well in knockout games as opposed to winning the league. Because winning a league, you require consistency for 38 games. With knockout football, you can kind of really get away with it in one-off games. And the way that you guys actually play football, it actually suits and acclimatizes to that. But no, I think if you guys don't win a trophy this season, it's ultimately on Arteta. And if you guys keep Declan Rice, Julian Timber, Gabriel Magalhaes, Saliba I think you guys should win a trophy. If you guys don't win a trophy, from this point on, in terms of League Cup, FA Cup, or whatever, I genuinely don't think you'll ever win a trophy. I genuinely don't think you'll ever win a trophy if you don't do it now. But yeah, if you are new, hit the like button and make sure you're subscribing. And yeah, bless up to all the raiders that's joined the channel today. Appreciate every single one of you, man. Yeah, this is where Nemens hangs out, mate. This is where Nemens does hang out. Sometimes, he's acting daft in here, but the best part, he's been a good lad. He's been a good lad. So yeah, so chat. We are conference from yesterday. We're gonna see what the manager has had to say about last night. So let's go through that. Hey Footy, I'm heading off as my internet has gone to shite. Oh, bless up to you, bro. And hopefully I'll see you again soon. Reacts, chatting complete Wes. How is it Wes? So is City or Liverpool top of the EPL going by your logic? I literally just said, in my opinion, I think Arsenal are more chance of winning cups than opposed to a league. How the fuck is that talking Wes? Barcelona sign that Chelsea lost have been really good. Yamal looks even more unstoppable last season. I wouldn't sleep on Barca. I wouldn't sleep on Barca. Champions League tonight. There's no Champions League tonight. Arsenal ain't beating Bayern Munich in Bayern in Munich. Yeah, that's obviously that's gonna be a massive game if that game happened. Liverpool is beating Arsenal. Arteta's afraid to attack. That's the thing with Arteta. He struggles to attack, doesn't he? Arsenal that set piece. To be fair, they scored some nice goals the other night. They did score some nice goals against Inter the other night, to be fair. So I'm not going to be too generous. So let's get this slot press conference up. Should be interesting from last night. So let's get this up. Share tab.
What do you think about the way you took the game?
The fuck is going on here?
It's always very difficult to play against Marseille because of the passionate fans they have and the quality of the players. What makes it even harder that they have such a good manager who always lets his team play so well. And we were prepared for that. I think in the first half you could see we took the ball 3 or 4 times off them in very promising situation, but we couldn't find the player that was completely free. We were in 4 versus 3 situations a few times. And the one time we did find the player, it was fractionally offside. And on the ball, I think we were controlled, although I maybe could not better use that word because that's misintercepted, has been misintercepted a few times lately. But we could find players in between the lines. We could bring our attackers in promising positions. And it took a while before we scored the second, because I think we had chances earlier on to score the second. And the thing that was for the first time different this season than in all the other games, that the moment we were having a big chance to score the 2-0 that hit the post or the bar, 10 seconds later, they had a big chance. And usually this season that ball goes in and we're all complaining. But now the ball went over and we extended our lead to 2 and 3-0. And then the performance is still the same, but the perspective about how people talk about it is probably completely different.
Yeah, I suppose some of us were looking to see what it was kind of, I suppose the build-up was looking at whether you were looking for a response to the current blunder you were on. Do you feel you got a response time? Were you looking for a response time? And if so, how big a response was it?
I can say it one more time. Having a draw at home against Burnley is not the standard of this football club. But we've created, I think, 3 or 4 times more chances against Burnley than we did tonight.
kind of like about the manager. You know, he's somewhat taken somewhat accountability for his actions and somewhat taken accountability for the dropping points against Burnley. So I'm very happy he's actually taking somewhat accountability, you know, for that. So that's actually good to see that he's actually doing that. Yeah, Ekatike is class. But the thing is, tonight's slot though is we actually played well. That's why everyone's happy and praised about the performance, that we actually played really well and we actually played really, really good. That's why we're really enthused about the performance as opposed to Burnley, where we created 30 chances. Please name me 5, 6 attempts where, barring the Verts goal, where we was like, oh my God, we should have scored. There's not really many. Like, I've seen many times, have we seen it in all types of football games where there's been, let's say, 30 shots, 25 shots, and the shots are irrelevant because they're not even really clear-cut chances. They're just half-quarter chances. Against last night, against Marseille, we had some really good opportunities. Salah should have scored. Ekatike should have come in with maybe 1 or 2. Verts as well. So I actually think the end quality of last night's chances were better than last night's. I mean, sorry, Burnley's.
Right. But we scored 1, and tonight we scored 3. And even tonight we created quite a lot of chances, by the way. Against Arsenal, we played a very good game. Against Burnley, in my opinion, still, everyone can disagree, but we played a very good game against Burnley. And tonight, again, we played a very good game. But it's a completely different game, because in a game like this, tactical discipline, tactics, game plan, it all matters. Where if you face a low block, yeah, you don't have a meeting to tell the players how they have to bring the ball out from the back, because, yeah, you already have the ball in 25 yards of the goal. And I think Pep, I've said this already 15 times this season, but I heard Pep saying the importance of players that dominate 1v1s against low block yesterday evening as well. So maybe when he says it, people put more emphasis on it.
So that's what you thought of Mo tonight, because obviously getting a quick turnaround for him after AFCON at the weekend to then come back, train with the lads and perform as well this evening.
It helps that he's already for so long with us, so he knows his teammates and he knows how we want to play, and it says a lot about how big of a professional he is, that being away with us for a month in a different team, that he was so fit to play today 90. I think he was close to a goal. Good ball from Cody. Usually that's a goal for him. Tonight it wasn't, but it didn't harm us because we scored 3. But I think overall was a very...
That's good to see, and you can definitely tell the relationship between Slot has definitely been put to bed in terms of the negativity, because if there was still something there, Salah wouldn't have been played in the starting 11, and you could very much you know, very much see that. Low block scratch card. You know what, chat? I might do that. Do you know, for Slot's press conferences, do like a bingo card? Genuinely do like a bingo card. Like, how many times will he mention low blocks? How many times will he mention standards? How many times will he mention fucking PSG, for Christ's sakes? Because obviously before PSG it was Nottingham Forest. Now it's PSG. We're ready for that next team. Who will be the next team that Slot will be so obsessed with mentioning? So first it was Forest. Then it was PSG. Who's next? Potentially Burnley. Is Burnley going to be the next game that Slot is absolutely obsessed with mentioning? But I'm really thrilled for Mo last night.
I saw a lot of good individual performances, as I saw against Arsenal, as I saw against Burnley, as I saw tonight. And the one I want to take out is Joe Gomez, because he hasn't played a lot in the last 1.5 years. Suffered sometimes for injuries. Sometimes I didn't play him when he was fit. A few times that he played were moments in League Cup and in FA Cup. And tonight he had an outstanding performance with with an important role in our 3-0.
And how crucial now to avoid the playoffs? You're up to fourth in the standings, obviously.
No, but that has been crucial from the start, because in the last 13 games we've only been 54 minutes behind, and we've had multiple times a lead. And but we have to play with a lot of times with the same players because we have 3 long-term injuries, and from the start of the season we haven't had as big a squad as some of our competitors have. So it's a lot about the same players, and I don't think it's a reason, but you never know that if every time the same players have to play, or most of them the same players, then that could be maybe a reason where you run out of energy in some games where we've conceded. Because it is more than people understand. We're already 7-8 months in the season, and I don't think Virgil has had more than 3 days off. And it's the same for Ryan, and it's the same for all these players. But they constantly show up. They constantly show mentality, no matter how many setbacks we've had this season. And again today they had we as a team had a very good performance.
Fair play.
Any more? No, thank you.
Oh, what?
Did Marseille play exactly the way you expected them to? Or was there any surprises in that approach?
There are always a few details where they adjust during the game, because they then see the way we approach the game. But I think what you know about Marseille, what you know about this manager, that they want to try to bring the ball out from the back in a certain style when they have a goal kick, and in open play they also have a certain style. But I could also see, and that's why I think he's also such a good coach, such a good manager, that he does adjust then small things to our game plan, and that was what makes these games, even for me and also for me, much more interesting than facing low blocks. Because now you have to be sharp, you have to be alert, you have to adjust in your tactics, in your game plan. Where against low blocks, it has nothing to do with tactics. Depends, because if you face low blocks, you have the ball a lot, and usually if you have the ball a lot, you could assume you win the game, and that would have been normal for us if you compare the chances we create and the chances we concede. But because of multiple reasons this season, we weren't able. If you tell me it's nicer to approach a game, when you watch games of them, like Marseille or Madrid or Atletico Madrid or other games we've played in the Champions League, the teams we face do mainly the same as they do in the other games. Where in the Premier League, it's 7, 8, 9 games before we play them in a certain style, and then they play us and they completely change their style. And then, you're standing in the line and just having ball possession, hoping something happens. And of course, we train on certain things, and of course, we try to make small details better. But the end is, as Pep yesterday said, dominating the 1v1 is crucial against low blocks. Yeah, you can. 2-3 minutes after you guys left yesterday, he stepped out of the training session. We took him with us because we don't expect it to be a long-term injury. So we are here because we stay here tonight. We're here a bit longer. We thought it was good for him to have his treatment over here, and we were hoping that maybe he would have been fit in time, but he wasn't. He tried in the warm-up, and he wasn't able to play. That's why he wasn't on the bench.
But yeah, that was definitely an interesting press conference. Big up to everybody in the building, man. 24 of you. Let's try and run these likes up to 30 if possible. Chat. Let's try and run these likes up if possible. Again, if you are new, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. 26 of you in the building. We're going to do some transfer news stuff. There's been some transfer talks. So we're going to wrap up the next 15-20 minutes, talk about a couple of bits about transfers. Canate, Mickey van der Ven's obviously been linked. So we are going to speak about that. I just need to go to the toilet. So I will be back in literally 2 minutes. Literally 2 minutes, and then we'll get into some transfer stuff. And then we'll get into that. And then man, bless up to everybody. We'll literally be back in literally 1 minute. Let me put it up as this. Be right back. We'll put it as that. Right, back in literally 1 minute, chat. Bless up, everyone. We're back. We're back. What did I get to in the chat? Let me catch up some of your messages. Where did I get to in the chat? Where did I get to in the chat? Right, let me take off that banner. Right, where did I get to? Yeah, we're definitely gonna do a slot bingo card, I think. Teams like Liverpool, Arsenal, Madrid, Barcelona, and many others always have played against low blocked teams. It's about finding a way past that 100%. Yeah. I'm bricks right now thinking about that Liverpool loss to Bournemouth. Okay, mate. Oh, for God's sake, because I got the hiccups. I've got the fucking hiccups. Chelsea signed more kids. Yeah, I think we are more likely at this rate to beat Man City and Newcastle than Bournemouth and Wolves. That won't surprise us, would it? The men's reacts. You move way too fraudulent. You said Liverpool are going to Budapest. When you lose, you pretend you saw it coming. Where is it? Listen. How can you pretend you lose? How can I pretend for something that I don't know is going to happen? Like, we might lose 5-0 against Bournemouth. I can't pretend, can I? Sorry, I'm late. Views. Bless up to you, bro. Oh God, here we go. 1 hour later, definitely gone for a shit. I didn't go for a shit. I literally went for a piss, went into the kitchen, grabbed a bottle of water, and yeah, welcome, Brian. Yeah, man. The bathroom. What the fuck? Reacts? No, mate. I literally went for a piss and got a bottle of water. It's been 30 minutes. I was gone for like maybe 5 minutes max. What on earth? Surely he's. I don't even know what the hell is everyone else on. For fuck's sake, we need to stop the glazing slot. This was fucking nothing. I'm not glazing Slot. I'm just saying Slot deserves credit where credit is due. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, what touchline's in the chat? Oh, yeah, big up touchline. Wesley, cry about it. That's all we seem to do. SDs. Touchline. So because oh, I'm not getting into this fucking political. I'm not even bothering reading any political shit out because look, listen. That's not for me. That's not for me. That's not for me. But no, chat. Look, we're gonna go over 1 or 2 transfer stories, and then we'll wrap up. So this is coming from Team Talk. Although, to be fair, this has been a story all season, hasn't it? Liverpool and Ruben Canassi remain some way apart on an agreement on a new contract. He's in his 5th season at Anfield and believes he should be one of the best paid centre-backs in the Premier League. He'll be available at the end of the season for free should a deal not be struck. I've always said this about Canate. I think 200k a week is fair. I think 200k a week is fair when you compare him to some of the players that are in comparisons. I think Maguire is on like 2-3 times the amount of him, for example. Do you know what I mean? So I can understand and see his frustration in regards to not being offered a new contract. Obviously, the form this season, simply doesn't help him, does it? The form this season that he has been on simply just doesn't help him in any sort of way of warranting a decent contract. I've always remained consistent. I think Canate will sign. My opinion has definitely swayed over the past couple of weeks. I had a bit of confidence that he would sign a contract. Back in November when the Madrid interest did very much cool. But I think Xabi Alonso played a big part, and obviously he's no longer there. Obviously, we are now going to be linked to about 1,000 centre-backs because ultimately, what's political? Bro, you're talking about random shit in my chat. Like some people saying Rice is English, not Irish, people are African. Like, I'm just not gonna discriminate people. Do you know what I mean? You said Canate stays and you sign Gahey. Yes, you are factually correct. I did say we'll sign Mark Gahey. And that was mainly down to the circumstances of it would be a fucking embarrassment if we didn't. And it is an embarrassment that we didn't. And Canate, we don't know as of yet if he's going to sign the contract. So we can't really laugh about it. That prediction. Listen, mate. Flying Verts is what, 5 goals away from our bet? 5 goals away from my bet. I think he's scored. He's on a few now. He's getting goals and assists. Listen, all it takes now, if he can get a game where he gets 1 or 2 goals in the same game or something like that, listen, you're gonna be shitting yourself. And I'm not counting this fucking nonsense. Oh, that goal against Fulham don't count. It's a goal. Yeah. Good one, mate. Wesley Crabite, Canard stays for you. How is that not the same? You're doing... Bro, I'm not that. This is what... Chat, I'll be honest. This is why I'm not getting involved in any of this fucking shit. You guys want to talk about that? Add each other on fucking Snapchat or something. It was offside. It doesn't count. He won't get 8 anyways. I'm fine. Bro, it is a fucking... No, bro, we're not doing this. So, I hope you do know. I hope you fucking do know this. If he finishes... So, if he finishes on 8 goals and you're like, oh, no, we don't count. I want my money. Because otherwise, you're not getting your money or your memberships or whatever you fucking want, right? If Liverpool failed to win the 2 trophies, the Champions League and the FA Cup, so obviously we're not winning the league. So if we get knocked out to Brighton, factually, you have won the 2 trophies bet because we're not winning the league and we're only going to be in the Champions League. So you won't be getting your money unless you agree to the Florian Wirtz Fulham goal. Or otherwise, you owe me 100 quid if we somehow pull off the upset and win the FA Cup and the Champions League. So, kind of, which one is it, mate? You know, make your mind up. Didn't you try and sign Gay on the last day of the transfer window? Yeah, and it was an embarrassment that we actually attempted it on the last day. We should have done it weeks and months before. But a centre-back that we are linked with, Liverpool have genuine interest in Tottenham and Netherlands centre-back, Mickey van der Ven, who is yet to sign a new contract with Spurs. If Liverpool test Spurs' resolve with a bid, it will be a big decision for Spurs. Executive tier who have vowed to be a betting at selling. Okay, we don't really care about the last information. But we have been linked to a lot with him. I think David Ornstein, and Paul Joyce put out a tweet that we do have actual interest in Mickey van der Ven. And keep dreaming. Dreaming about what? You either agree to it or you don't get your fucking money, mate. Do you know what I mean? So which one is it? Either have no money or either have 100 quid. So, yeah. But people talk about Spurs' contract. Sorry, how long does he have left on his contract? I swear he signed a 6-year deal and he joined in like 2023. Let me have a look at this. Where's Mickey van der Ven? Movement. Fucking... What the fuck's... Oh. Mickey van der Ven. So he's on 90 grand a week. Bro has 3 years left. I could understand if he had like 2. He has like 3 years left. If he had 2 years, I think we could easily get a deal. Yeah, I wonder if there's any Spurs players I would take. I used to like Destiny Udogie. His first season under Ange, I thought he was actually really good. Kind of fell off a cliff since then. Archie Gray's not a bad player. Bergvall I actually like a lot, but he's got years left on his contract. Why would you sign a 6-year contract with Tottenham? Like, do you have any... Basuma? Oh my god, I remember we was linked with Basuma for years. I would have took prime Basuma Brighton version. There's no other real players I would even take from Tottenham. Their team is crap, innit? Pedro Porro, he's average. He stinks of someone that will go to like a Man United, doesn't it? Vakari is alright. Bentancur's injury prone. Kudus, average. I'll be honest. The only players I'm really taking from Tottenham is Mickey van der Ven, Lucas Bergvall, and Maddison, but he can't even stay fit, so it's irrelevant. But no, look, with Mickey van der Ven, I like him a lot. I think a lot of people have already complained, oh, his injury record, though, this, and that. And I'm like, look, I think his injury record was actually down to Ange Postecoglou. I think his injury record was simply down to Ange Postecoglou. Because when you're playing in an Ange team, yeah, you're naturally going to get injured a lot. When you're having to play as a centre back and you're having to run 60, 70 yards 3-5 times a game, maybe even more depending on the opposition, you're naturally going to pull up a hamstring. You're going, and especially in certain instances where Tottenham quickly get counter-attacked and you've got to react. That's where sometimes a lot of players pull their hamstrings in these little moments. And this season under Spurs, he has stayed fit. He has got traits I do like, you know, the ball playing out the back ability. I think he's got the physicality. He's definitely got the pace as a defender. I think he can definitely get better. I think Mickey van der Ven's only 24. I think another thing with him, though, is how much is he going to cost? Like, for me, I'm paying no more than 70 million. But I don't know if that gets the deal done. We know Spurs are a difficult club to deal with when it comes to transfers. So it is a deal that I think would be interesting if Liverpool really do evolve in that other stuff that also Canate, what's his name? Szoboszlai, I think our contract announcement will be announced soon, in my opinion. But no, we are linked to Mickey van der Ven. I did see this. I think he's a big Liverpool fan too. This was him in 2023. This guy's clearly a red bringing this. So he said this in 2023. This was This was before when he was at Wolfsburg, before he signed for Spurs. I once went to the Liverpool Stadium with my dad. That was over Christmas on Boxing Day, Liverpool versus Arsenal. That was a madness. Then when You Never Walk Alone comes on, that's a goosebumps moment. That was very cool. It's a dream to play there. So he's already instantly got the aspects of potentially wanting to be at Liverpool. And if he's got any mentality, you would want to come to Liverpool instead of fucking Spurs. Like, let's, no disrespect to Tottenham. I'm trying to diss them. But, like, no offense, you guys are literally irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. Like, please tell me, like, if you deny Liverpool to stay at Tottenham, then I really, really do question your mentality. Fact, he is a Liverpool fan. Brennan Johnson. He's at Crystal Palace now. Jed Spence. I liked him when he was at Forest, but average. Kudus. He's got no end product for me. And I actually think he's been bang average. I would have talked to him about 2 years ago. Enzo Fernandez. He sees all the time. Wesley, why are you rattled? Now I'm gonna do every stream you're in, so you used to, pal. I'm addressing this thing. You said something. If that's not racist, then the Enzo. I ain't getting involved in that shit. You know what Spurs are like in transfer dealings? Yeah, they're a difficult club. That's one of the reasons why I might not even do it. You're just waffling. Not once did I say I support. Did I say he's a Liverpool fan? I said I think he's a Liverpool fan. And I've also seen people going about like he's a Liverpool fan. Fuck this, we're looking this up just for you. Just for you. Touchline facts. Mickey van der Ven. Liverpool fan. Is this it? I want to know what game he was on about. Liverpool Arsenal on Boxing Day. I remember we played a couple of years ago, but it was the day after Boxing Day. It was literally the next day after Boxing Day, and we slapped them 5-1 at Anfield. We actually ended up going 1-0 down in that game. Van der Ves is strong and good at aerially, ticks all the boxes. I think he's a good player, but the only thing is with him, like I said, is Tottenham Hotspur. They're a difficult club to deal with, and you know we've seen that over the years. VVD is the next Virgil. I know it's slot with a stable team wins the league. FSG have a stable team. Another MF left winger, and that's about we will cook. When Madueke joined us, he said, "I'm joining the biggest club in London." Where is he now? Yeah, Arsenal. Mad. Mad. But that's what some players do. Some players always said, "Oh, it's always been my dream to play here." That's it, bollocks. Always been your dream. You're just doing it because you got no choice. Now, what are we doing there? Let me see if there's any more news. But no, I think that's it. Look, that's really it. The Canate stuff is obviously circling, and Mickey van der Ven as well. I think I'm going to do a transfer tier list show tomorrow, where I'm going to rank the positions that we need to prioritize. Centre backs, 2 centre backs. Canate goes. Maybe we need 3, but one that can play across the back line, preferably. So let's say we bring in like an Ordonez from Club Brugge. We bring in someone like a Mickey van der Ven. Go and get me a Schlosserbeck, and then go and get me Mickey van der Ven and Schlosserbeck. Then you go and get me a centre back that can play across the back line. That's why I wanted Mark Gahey, because he could play the either fullback roles, and he could play left or right centre back. I don't like arguing over what part is comparing this to Rice scoring when I said he's show that you don't agree. What are you on about? Robbie Keane, always glazed up every club he joined. Yeah. You just do get some players like that. You just do. You just do get some players like that that will literally just sit there, fucking glaze the fuck out of that club. Majority of the time, they don't even glaze it. They just get told to say that because it hypes all the. You know what football's like nowadays? It's all about PR and shit like that. So it's just irrelevant. But yeah, chat. We're gonna wrap things up. Smash the like button, subscribe on your way out. We're 2 likes away from 30. How many subs are we away from the next target? A whopping 2. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you've done so, and hopefully we can get there today. We'll upload get some shorts out later as well. Clip up some stuff on the stream as well. Talk about certain individual of the players of last night's performance. So yeah, bless up to everybody, man. I'll be back tomorrow. Content over the weekend. Tomorrow we're doing the slot press conference reaction. I might do that transfer tier ranking stream. I don't know yet. Tomorrow. If not, it'll be a Bournemouth preview. Saturday we'll have the match reaction. For the game. Saturday. No, that is Saturday. Sorry. Sunday. Isn't it Arsenal Man U? Let me have a look. What games have we got this weekend? So tonight you got Europa League. Is there any decent ones on? Maybe for a watch along. Fenerbahce Aston Villa might be alright, but might take a miss on that. So yeah, tomorrow we'll do the press conference. Saturday, obviously we play at R5. Sunday's games. Oh, I might do a double header. Newcastle Villa. And then Arsenal Man U. Oof. That is interesting. Is there any other good ones on? Yeah. And then I think it's Champions League again next week. Again. Yeah, it's Champions League next week. For the last match day. What's on next? Oh, we play at 8 o'clock. Ugh. Oh, of course everyone else gets a nice easy 2 o'clock on a Sunday. I think 2 o'clock Sunday is actually a nice time to play. I've always said it that the best time to play for me is a Friday night. your team wins, it's a nice weekend. You can kick up. I remember so many times we played on a Friday night in a title race, and it was just so nice. You could just put your feet up, relax, watch the other games. He's just trying to get a reaction. I have no idea what everyone else was all about. But no, chat. Appreciate every single one of you, man. Don't think anybody is live to even redirect to. Smash the likes, subscribe on your way out, and yeah, take care. And I'll see you guys all very, very soon for the press conference. But if Man City don't beat Wolves in the Arsenal, not really, because Man United need top 4, don't they? United, to be fair, need top 4. So yeah, should be a good weekend of football. Hopefully my team can fucking win. Although I'm not holding my breath. Chat, big up, big up, big up, big up. I'm gonna go what do I need to do the rest of the day? Got fucking no, I've got to sort out fucking do some stuff in the kitchen. I'm making myself a lovely curry tonight, so I'm gonna enjoy that as well. So yeah, big up, take care, and we are out. Peace. Bosh.